Are you an entrepreneur, speaker, and a coach, and you know you need to write that book, but just don't know where to start? Hello, my friend. I'm Dr. Oliver T. Reed, the writing coach, and I help entrepreneurs, speakers, and coaches write their books fast using my 4-step M.I.L.K writing system. Listen, since 2010, I've been able to write at least 3 books a year. But it wasn't always like that. I remember when I first started, I did a lot of things wrong. For example, I didn't have a writing coach. I was just eager to do what I wanted to do, and that was speaking and coaching. That was my passion. And I would be traveling all over the world, crushing stages. I mean, standing, hearing applause and, accolades, and only to hear people say, hey, where can I get your book? And then I would stop and give them that blank stare and say, hey, I'm working on it. What I didn't know is I left a lot of opportunities, a lot of speaking engagement, not only money, but I left the opportunity to be rebooked again, right? I left the opportunity for my book to speak in places where I couldn't go, right? I did all those things wrong. And I even remember when I think it was around 2008, 2009, when I finally said in my mind, I'm going to quit procrastinating. I'm going to work on my book. I'm going to put it together. I didn't hire a coach. I just jumped out and just started taking people's word for it, right? Big mistake. I was out there trying to get my book written, put my hands in a lot of different things, didn't know what I was doing. People were not fulfilling their promises. I ended up spending a whole lot of money in which I didn't have trying to get this book together, and I never was able to even get it together. And then when it did get together, semi-together, I wasn't even receiving any profits or royalties from it because I just didn't know what I was doing. All right? And so this is the reason why I do it. I do it because I want to be what I didn't have, right? So let me get back. After that, in 2010, I got with somebody who helped me. And since then, I've been full steam ahead. Like I said, I've produced at least 3 books a year. I've traveled all over the world. I've sold books in a couple continents. And guess what? I was a multi-best-selling author and doing what I love to do, right? And I want that same thing for everybody that's around me, right? I want that same thing to happen for those who are watching this video, for you who took the time to do that. I want that to happen for you, all right? And so why I do it, I got tired of walking into rooms and seeing people who look like myself, right? My old self that was actually crushing stages. You're hearing the applause, and you go to the back of the room and they ask you, where's your book? And you say, I'm going to get it done eventually. I don't have it. And it just gets my blood boiling because you are a master and an expertise at being you, and your business is so influential that we can't wait another day to do it. So I became that coach to really draw down these 4 basic principles that will move you forward, right? To move you forward in business so that you can be the authority figure in your brand, to be branded as an expert, and to get in the rooms before you get there because you have a book, all right? And all using my 4 steps M.I.L.K writing system, right? But before I do that, right, and how I do that, I'm going to show you and tell you that I have a free gift for you, right? Do not click off this video so you can get that free gift. All right, now let me jump right into it, right? All right, let's start with the 4 steps. I do what I call the word M.I.L.K, right? Remember the old saying, M.I.L.K the crisis, right? So we're gonna M.I.L.K your book. And so we're gonna M.I.L.K your writing. So that first letter in M.I.L.K is messaging, right? The message, right? We're going to make sure that your message is the center of it all. All right, you got to know your message, because your message, and the M stands for that message that will really get your book started out right. So when you work through your messaging, when you know what you're trying to say and it's crystal clear, it brings or attracts ultimate results. All right, so messaging is that number 1 thing before you write. You want to make sure you have cleared your head and get that out, right? And then we move over to the I, and that I stands for implementation. You know, we live in a very what have you done lately for me generation, and as entrepreneurs, speakers, and coaches, people want to know how to implement, right? You teach people how to implement. So we're going to work on implementation. Implementation inside of that word M.I.L.K allows you to implement those things, right? So there's a very, very clear implementation process. All right, let's move over to L. L is linking all together, right? Some of you have had sleepless nights. You've had countless pieces of paper that you tore up, you wrote, you scribbled, you scrabbled, typed on your Mac because you didn't understand how to link it all together. All right, my biggest problem was linking it all together, making all this make sense. So inside of that word milk, it's the L that is that linking it all together component, all right? And lastly, let's move over to K. K is knowing your book. There's another thing that's a pet peeve of mine is when I'm in the presence of authors or in the presence of speakers and you ask them what their book is about and they don't know it, they fumble through it, right? They can't explain what their book really means. So knowing your book is the most powerful tool that you can take with you. All right, that is amazing. Now we have the M for messaging, we have the I for implementation, we have the L for linking it all together, and we have the K for knowing your book. All right, I told you I was gonna give you a free gift. I'm excited about it. My free gift to you is my free strategy call. All right, you can click and schedule that call on the next page. You can have a call with me where we can sit down, hear about your writing idea, your business concept, right? Your coaching goals, whatever it may be to put into a literary work. We'll sit there, we'll plan it out, and we'll actually work through that together if we're a good fit, right? So if you can click on and we can work together and then we can determine if you're a good fit for my program, and if you are, we'll move on to that. Now, I have to put the disclaimer out there to say that my service is not cheap, but I guarantee maximum results, which means we want to go above and beyond to make sure you're successful every day of the week. All right, so look, I'm looking forward to you to click on that next page and schedule your strategy call with me, and I can't wait to work with you. And guess what? Do it before you write another word.